Welcome back to our channel. In this video we are looking at the evolution of the Apple iPhone. The original iPhone, released by Apple in 2007, looked and functioned like any other mobile phone on the market. Since then, the iPhone's popularity has skyrocketed, and now everyone, no matter their budget, aspires to either get an iPhone someday or keep updating their current one. And to maintain the iPhone's persistent obsession, Apple must regularly improve and provide new features for the device. Let's trace the development of the iPhone back to 2007 and observe how the product has evolved since then. Before we get started, make sure to like the video, subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. iPhone Evolution 2007-2022. iPhone First Generation. Upon its introduction in 2007, the first iPhone boasted a two-tone appearance, a 3.5-inch multi-touch display, and either 4 or 8 GB of internal storage. Its 2-megapixel rear camera was limited to still images and could not record video. iPhone 3G and 3GS. In July of 2008, Apple released the iPhone 3G. It offered 3G connection and 8 GB of storage upon launch, which was on the low end compared to its predecessor's 16 GB and 32 GB offerings. It included a 3.5-inch screen, 2-megapixel camera, and 128 MB of memory. The iPhone 3GS was the company's first S model. The camera on the 3GS model was upgraded to 3 megapixels and now records video as well. Apple also included voice control, but Siri wouldn't appear for another year or two. iPhone 4 and 4S. When it was released in 2010, the iPhone 4 was widely hailed as the world's thinnest smartphone. It sports a 3.5-inch screen, a 5-megapixel camera, and 512 MB of storage space. It also has the first front-facing camera of any iPhone. A Retina display was included in the iPhone 4. The iPhone 4S could capture video in 1080p resolution and sported an 8-megapixel camera, 64 GB of storage, and the digital personal assistant Siri. Including 1080p recording necessitated 64 GB of store space. iPhone 5, 5S and 5C. More improvements were made with the iPhone 5. The device has Lightning ports, 1 GB of storage space, and LTE connectivity. Its display has also been increased in size from 3.5 inches to 4 inches. An additional year passed before the introduction of the 5S and 5C models. Touch ID, dual flash, and slow motion video were just a few of the main upgrades introduced by Apple with the iPhone 5S, which also used the more advanced A7 CPU. However, the 5C aimed for a younger demographic and had brighter colors. The product debuted in 4 distinct hues. iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. It was released in 2014 and quickly became the best-selling iPhone ever. Internally, the iPhone 6 was not vastly different from the iPhone 5S. The bigger screen size was the most noticeable change. The 2 GB of more storage space and the elevated camera were a couple of the other key variations. Apple's first Plus model, the iPhone 6 Plus, was also the company's first such product. Its display was 5.5 inches, and the on-off switch was located on the right side of the device rather than at the top. iPhone 6S and 6S Plus. In 2015, the 6S model was introduced. With the iPhone 6S, Apple made a number of significant improvements. From 8 megapixel to 12 megapixel, the camera took a giant leap forward. Memory was also increased, from 1 GB to 2 GB. Apple included 3D Touch and 7000 class aluminum in the iPhone 6S. iPhone SE. The iPhone SE was launched in 2016. It was basically a cheap model launched by the company with the specs of iPhone 5S and 6 without the 3D Touch. iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. In 2016, Apple introduced the 7th generation iPhone. This was the first smartphone to be released without a standard audio port, ushering in the wireless earbud era. It has a unique dual camera system seen only on the Plus models. With its additional 12-megapixel telephoto sensor, the camera was able to use optical zoom to create depth effects. For the first time ever, Apple has not offered a 16GB iPhone as its entry-level model. Instead, the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus come with 32GB of storage as standard, with larger capacities available for an additional cost. As a replacement for the traditional home button, Apple developed the Force Touch Home button. iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. In 2017, the 8 series was released, and it was the first smartphone to support wireless charging. Glass back panel, True Tone display technology, and updated editing and filter options were the only noticeable changes. iPhone X, XS and XS Max. The iPhone X was launched in 2017 to mark the 10-year anniversary. It was the first iPhone ever to feature an OLED panel and portrait mode selfies. Apple also got rid of Touch ID home button in making a bezel-less display. Apple also launched Face ID, a more convenient facial authentication system. Whereas the major upgrade in the XS and XS Max model was just the A12 Bionic chipset. iPhone XR. A month after the iPhone X, Apple released the iPhone XR. While it was larger than the iPhone 7 Plus and 8 Plus, this model was smaller than the XS and XS Max. It was not significantly upgraded, but it was colored and cheaper. iPhone 11, 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max. In 2019, Apple released iPhone 11. The gadget was available in a rainbow of hues and included a 6.1-inch liquid retina display. It was the first smartphone to include dual rear cameras, both 12 megapixels, with options for both wide and ultra-wide focal lengths. The rear of the iPhone 11 Pro was dominated by three 12-megapixel cameras, making it visibly larger than previous models. A Super Retina XDR display was one of its features. The Pro Max's screen had a Super HD Retina XDR panel, making it nearly identical to that of the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro save for its bigger size. iPhone SE 2. The 2020 update to the iPhone SE was mostly indistinguishable from the original. The Retina HD display on the 4.7-inch screen and the home button with Touch ID are throwback features. The iPhone SE has an A13 Bionic chip, a better camera with portrait mode and depth control, can record in 4K resolution, can be charged wirelessly, and has a long battery life. iPhone 12, 12 mini, 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. Significant upgrades were made to the 12 series when it debuted in 2020. The 12 mini has a 5.4 inches and contained the new, powerful A14 Bionic CPU and newest Super Retina XDR OLED display. The new ultra-wide and wide cameras in the iPhone 12 are HDR video recording Dolby Vision enabled. It's worth noting that the charger was not included in the box for the 12 model. LiDAR scanning, a better night mode, and expanded magnification and lens capabilities were all included in the 12 Pro model. In addition, it supports Dolby Vision at up to 60 frames per second and captures raw images for improved professional editing. iPhone 13, iPhone 13 mini, iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max. Launched in 2021, the series had very subtle upgrades like the A15 Bionic chip, better cameras, better battery life and smaller notch. iPhone SE 3. In 2021, a new generation of the SE was introduced, and it was remarkably similar to the previous SE models. Only 5G, an A15 Bionic chip, a sophisticated camera system, with portrait mode, depth control, HD video, deep fusion, wireless charging, and a long battery life, and the ability to download a whole season of Netflix in a single sitting were added. iPhone 14, 14 Plus, 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. The newest iPhones debuted on September 16, 2022. There was a greater emphasis on safety in the models. The A16 Bionic chipset and a new dual camera system were included, and there was also an accident detection and satellite SOS feature. This was the evolution of the Apple iPhone. We hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more videos about the evolution of things. Thank you for watching.